of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, Your Excellency the Deputy President Honorable Gachagua, Your Excellency the Chief Cabinet Secretary of Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Wycliffe. I want also to recognize the Speaker of the Senator, Honorable Amason Kingi, accompanied by one Cabinet Secretary from my home area, my second home area of Kilifi, Sister Aisha Jumwa, the Cabinet Secretary of Labor Social Protection, Sister Florence Bore, all Cabinet Secretaries who accompanied His Excellency the President and who are here, including Honorable Waziri wetu wa Foreign Affairs, the Principal Secretary, Minister of Labor and Social Protection, Geoffrey Kaituko, other Principal Secretaries present, the Executive Director of the Federation of Kenya Employers, Sister Jacqueline Mugo, the Chairman Labor Committee who is here in Parliament, Brother Muchangi Karemba, the Chairman, the Ambassadors and High Commissioners present, ILO Regional Director for East Africa, Brother Wellington Chibebe, and also I want to recognize Ms. Zainabu Hawa, Director General of UN Office in Nairobi, and Dr. Stephen Jackron, Resident Coordinator, based here in Nairobi. I want also to take this opportunity to recognize the Chairman of the National Social Security Fund, NSSF, Anthony Munyiri, Managing Trustee, National Social Security Fund, Brother David Mwangangi, Chairman, National Health Insurance Fund, Michael Kamau, Engineer, the Acting Chief Executive Officer, National Health Insurance Fund, Brother Samson Kuhora. I want also to recognize the Chairman, National Industrial Training Authority, Dr. Kamau Kashiki, Director General of the Industrial Training Authority, Dr. Stephen Ogenga, the entire coach executive board members who are here with me, without also leaving my own wife, my wife, Mary Atwoli, is with me here. Other dignitaries present, brothers and sisters. First of all, let me start by Your Excellency taking this important opportunity to very highly thank you for honoring our invitation and accepting to be the chief guest during the 58th Labor Day celebrations, whose theme is Kenyan Workers for Economic Growth, Political Stability and Job Creation. This is the year's theme, Your Excellency. It reminds us that without political stability in our country, we cannot be able to grow our economy and hence create employment for our young men and women. Your Excellency, this is a very special Labor Day for you, considering it is first Labor Day celebration with you as our President. We at Kotu Kenya, Your Excellency, we remain greatly indebted to you for being receptive and honoring. Bearing in mind that we had opposition during your election, but nevertheless, here you are with us. We therefore accept and remind ourselves that we do indeed owe you more than what you owe to us. We also want to take this opportunity to highly thank you for having given us the first opportunity to meet all labor leaders while you are still reorganizing your office, and that was not, we can't take it as workers just for granted, that because you love workers, you accepted our delegation to be with you on 14th of February 2023 at State House, Nairobi. And you moved with speed to adopt and implement some of our proposals, including Convention 190 on harassment and violence at work. We are very grateful for that, Your Excellency. A little bit of our history, and I want also expressed by our Governor Johnston Sakaja. Our governor did narrate a very long history of Eastlands, including Mbotela, where I grew up, and Eastlands being part of the Nairobi and place where workers reside in this republic of ours. Labor Day has a unique history dating back from 1st May in 1986. And this is all about strikes and dissatisfaction of workers in their places of work, including here in 1901 when we had a railway workers' strike that led to workers to be part and parcel of the other international workers during those colonial days. And we want also to take this opportunity to thank our founding father, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, who declared this day, Labor Day, in 1963, immediately after our independence, to be part, Kenya to be part and parcel of the international community in recognizing and also celebrating this wonderful day. Your Excellency, we, for a long time, we want to take this opportunity to thank government, because most of your predecessors have always appeared on this day to commemorate and to join working men and women of our republic in celebrating this wonderful day. Being your first day to be with us, Your Excellency, Go to Kenya without any doubt was amongst the first people, particularly after the Supreme Court accepting your election and affirming it as a president of the Republic of Kenya. We had to accept it as workers and to congratulate you. We did this considering that the fact that as workers we are guided by the ILO Convention number 144 on tripartism arrangements. This requires us to consult your government on a daily basis, and also all delegations of workers, be it in Addis Ababa during the African Union Labour and Social Affairs Committee or Commission during those days. This delegation is led by no other person but by your Minister for Labour, is the one who leads such a delegation. Our delegation to Geneva, which is annual to attend the International Labour Conference, is always led by the Minister for Labour representing Kenya government. We as workers and employers, we just automatically become part of government's delegation outside our boundaries. So as workers, if you would have said we are not recognizing you, then you would have equally said you are not also recognizing us. And that would have created a big rift under tripartism arrangements as it is known locally and internationally. We thank you and we echo your quick response in bringing us closer to your government. This is because when we attained independence in 1963, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, who was equally a person who did plant a sense of direction to our masses in an area of forgiveness and forgetting the past, forging ahead as a nation. You extended your hand not only to the workers, but to so many political groupings in our republic. And we can't take it for granted, Your Excellency. We want to thank you for that. I want also to say something little about NSSF, Your Excellency. You have guided us within a shortest possible time to make us realize that we wasted a lot of time on 200 shillings employers, 200 shillings workers, of which could not be able to assist any retiree after working for 40, 30, 60 years. We are part now and parcel of 6%, and we know for sure that when we exit from what we are doing as employees or members of various trade union organizations, we will be able to benefit out of that in order to avoid the old age poverty. On National Health Insurance Fund, Your Excellency, Kotu Kenya equally thank you for appointing a new chairman and a board of the National Health Insurance Fund. Your Excellency, some of us, we know Engineer Kamau personally. He's a man of no nonsense, and we are sure he will have to lead that board into new reforms and make sure that NHIF is closer to its mandate, and it works and it assists Kenyans of all shades, and also to assist you in your universal health care as enshrined into our constitution. NHIF currently requires, it is in dire need of transformation because of the changing pattern and so many different diseases that are facing our workers everywhere, including cancer, which is so much prevalent in our republic. On an area of climate change, Your Excellency, I want to thank you. You took it upon yourself. You went to Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt to be part of the global community in advocating and finding ways as per how, as a nation, we can be able to mitigate the climate change which is caused by global warming. And you went further, Your Excellency, to make sure that as we had a 4-year drought, you had to seek for spiritual guidance when you invited church leaders, pastors, and other church, both Muslims and Christians, at State House to pray for what we are seeing now. It would have been with us right now here, but I promised you it can't rain until after your speech, because I come from an area of people who control rain in Western Kenya. Your Excellency, also last year in November, while addressing the ITUC Congress in Melbourne, Australia, I lauded your government for its initiative towards disability inclusion. At this juncture, Your Excellency, I would kindly request you to ensure that workers are represented on the governance board of the National Council for Persons with Disability, because disability is with us, and we must also champion the aspirations of the people living with disabilities so that they can be part and parcel of our working community. An area that Johnson Sakaja, our governor, touched on in an area of the security guys and the security companies we have. I want to say this, Your Excellency. As workers, we have written to you and remain grateful for your positive response towards ensuring that mechanization in the agricultural sector and the outsourcing of labor are stopped. In every country, Your Excellency, the governments are concerned about their people, their working people. Kindly, Your Excellency, close your ears and don't listen to those who say outsourcing, if it is outlawed, will deal a major blow to the way of doing businesses. This is a total lie, because many countries have outlawed it because it amounts to indirect slavery. And the ILO, we have said that if you outsource, those people outsourced working on your premises remains your responsibility, and you must accept them to have a free and independent negotiations of their CBA. Further, Your Excellency, outsourced labor does not feature anywhere in our revenue collection books, nor do they contribute to the NSSF and NHIF. Let your government take action, because most of these outsourced people are paid in cash. A good example, Your Excellency, is the private security sector, of which Governor Sakaja has just mentioned, where more than 1.2 million Kenyans are employed, yet most of them are paid in cash. There is another animal which has lived with us, Your Excellency, and this one you must also close your eyes and deal with it. This animal called SRC. SRC, when it was put in place, it was meant to advise particularly the public sector area of employment, state officers and those other people. But what it has done, Your Excellency, and this negates the principles of the International Labour Organization, ILO Convention number 87 and number 98, that they want to negotiate, they want to decide on CBAs. CBAs are freely negotiated between workers and employers on free, you see, on give and take basis. There should be no any barrier in between. And the former Attorney General Githu Muigai wrote to us assuring us that SRC, their role is advisory. It's not to enter into negotiations to bar the freely negotiated CBAs and so on. And we don't want to mention this. We love this country. Otherwise, we can take this matter to the ILO. But because we are part and parcel of this country, Your Excellency, and we know how you move. You are a swift worker. You move very fast. And I know you will have to make some changes in the SRC behavior. Even you, they want to consider what our head of state is supposed to get when they are not outside there talking to people. And we cannot allow that. Privatization of state corporations, Your Excellency, I want to thank you very much. We have parastatals that are connected closer to our hearts, that they cannot just be privatized like that. And I want to take good example of what you did recently when you were in Malava. You barred privatization of our sugar industries in this country. That is good. We have industries that are performing, Kenya Ports Authority, Kenya Airways, and so many others that we are proud of, Your Excellency, including KBC, Kenya Pipeline Reinsurance Corporation, and so many others that are performing well, which they just require stiff and modern applications of management to make themselves sustainable, other than privatizing. And you have a lot of people who can help you to do this job. Your Excellency, the last thing I want to talk about is that this country doesn't have an organized public transport. I would like to thank the government of Kenya for making a strategic policy decision to invest in transformative green mobility in Nairobi. This came following your recent visit to the European Commission that saw the European Union and your government sign a declaration of intention to finance an electric bus line in Nairobi, BRT3, This one we support it because workers are being maimed, harassed when they are seeking transport to their places of work in matatus. And matatus must be regulated, Your Excellency. This city must remain an international city, and this city must, it is the gateway to the Republic of Kenya. Yesterday when we were in the church, I was reminding the governor of Nairobi that he must make sure he's doing very well in revenue collection, he's paying our members, even doctors he has promised to promote them, but equally we want a clean city. We need to regulate our hawkers. We can organize a market somewhere 100 kilometers, 60 or 30 kilometers outside Nairobi, and we put there an electric train to be transporting people to go to where hawkers are instead of them being everywhere in town. So the public transport is a very important thing, Your Excellency, and we want to support you on that, in that particular area. Lastly, before I sit down, Your Excellency, I would like to call upon your government to ensure about political stability in the country so that we salvage our economy from any reunions and equally attract foreign direct and indirect investments that will see the formalization of jobs. In Kenya, out of 17 million workers employed, more than 10 million workers are in informal sector. And these workers in informal sector, if they don't access their places of work, they don't have any pay at all. And they are part of us. In 2018, 2008, 2009, when we had global economic crisis, Africa was not hit so hard because of huge investment in our informal sector. And we must protect them. To protect them, Your Excellency, go beyond where you are. Make sure you reach out to any of your political enemy to make sure that this country remains stable, Nairobi remains stable. We avoid this issue of maandamano. I'm not competent to advise you. I'm not competent to advise Raila Amolo Odinga, who is my brother-in-law. He started politics at the age of 14. Whom am I to advise him? Your Excellency, when you were fighting to become the 5th president of this republic, we in Azimio, we were calling Raila the 5th. Little did we know what sort of guns you had. Nyinyi mnajua vizuri, si namna hivyo? Si mnajua mimi nilikuwa mtu wa Azimio. Na nataka kuambia ukweli, na nikisema ukweli watu wanasema wewe Atwoli anasema nini? Mimi haja yangu kubwa ni nchi hii. Saa hii ukienda Sudan, Khartoum, unapita kwa miwili ya watu wamekufa. Na hatutaki hiyo hapa. Mimi niko na ofisi Sudan. I'm the president of the largest trade union, trade federation of East Africa. Na ukienda huko watu wao kwa shida, hatutaki shida kama hiyo katika nchi hii. Sisi katika Azimio tulikuwa na president, tulikuwa na mawaziri wa internal kama wakina Matiang'i, kifua kubwa, nguvu kubwa, tulikuwa na pesa, tulikuwa na kila kitu. Kwanza tukakuweka nje, tukakulima kabisa. Pale ulitokea ukapita kwa sisi kama watu wamesimama, ama kama lile shamba kwa wale wanaotoka Kitale ama huko Western kubako kuna mashamba ya mahindi. Mahindi ikisha tolewa, ama huko Rift Valley, mahindi ikisha tolewa kwa shamba, wachawi huko Western wanakimbia kama kitu ingine. Unaweza shangaa huyu ni mtu alipita hapa. Wewe ulipita kwa sisi kama watu wale wamesimama. Nikajiuliza, hii television inasema ukweli ama ni uongo? Na sisi tulikuwa na AK-47, tulikuwa na pistols, tulikuwa na ile gas canisters, tulikuwa na grenade ile ya kutupa na inamaliza watu, tulikuwa na uwezo.
na tulikuwa na ukapita kwa sisi na wewe ukuwa na hizo vitu. Sasa what makes us think atukienda kwa streets kwa maandamano we will change the status quo? I said yesterday there are other situations that are irreversible. Kuna mambo ingine ambayo huwezi kubadilisha, mambo ya Mungu. Mimi nataka kuambia nyinyi, na yakisha fanyika you accept it. Because wewe ulikula kiapo. Mtoto wa Kenyatta akakupatia ile panga mrefu ya kulinda nchi. Sasa atoka hapa anarudi anasema sasa hii mambo ya Jubilee, labda hii election ilikuwa namna gani? Baba, angalia hapa. I said when you retire, Your Excellency, you must be a peacemaker. Uwezi kujishusha chini tena you become an activist. So mtoto wa Kenyatta anataka awe peacemaker. Na yeye alifungia watu, huwezi kuingia State House, watu yake kuwapigia simu hawezi kuchukua. Sasa ukija shindwa, brothers and sisters, you accept it. I was with them. I know most of us, mimi, Peter, Kenneth, watu ambao tulikuwa huko. Maina Kamanda alituonya mapema. Yule mzee siku moja umuite kukuja na chai, alionya sisi akatuambia hii mtoto wa Kenyatta anapeleka jinji ndoya. Na mimi kawaida naogopa kushindwa. Nikasema hii kama tunaenda Noya sisi tutafanya nini? Nikajikonsoli mwenyewe nikasema hapana, lakini Mudavadi yuko huko. Kama kitaumana kwa ajili kwa Mudavadi sitaka appointment. Nitafika kwake usiku niseme maneno, bwana, vile unaona hivi maneno imekuja mbaya. Lakini sasa sisi kurudi nyuma kwanza kusema what is the end game of maandamano. I know for sure Raila Amolo Odinga did a lot for this country. Hakuna mtu ila ajui. He brought second liberation. He fought for the new constitution. He has done a lot of things since his youth. We recognize him as a Kenyan leader. I'm prepared. And the president is here, is prepared, pamoja na deputy wake na prime minister. Waangalie, hata kama ni ile kazi yake ilikuwa ya kuangalia mabarabara ya Afrika ama uchairman mwingine hapa. Tumtafutie mambo ya hapa ndani. Na kila siku anapata opportunity ya kufungua mikutano. Asisukumwe sana na wale ambao kuna wengine huwezi kujua. They used his name to enrich themselves. We know them. Because peace is of paramount importance to our children and our prosperity, our future generation depends on peace. Kwa hivyo we must, everybody, not only me, I'm not competent to advise, but anybody who is here and can reach out on them. We are prepared, and I know President Mutu wa kanisa, Rigathi, hata mama ni reverend, pastor. I know Musalia comes from a Christian family. I know all of you. Moses Wetangula the same Katoliki mwenzangu. Hakuna mtu anania mbaya. They are forgiving leaders. And let's reach out to Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Let's reach out to President William, who is accessible. Amefungua. And mimi nilifanya kazi na mzee hayati Daniel Toroitich Moi. I had opportunity to work with him. William Samoei Ruto is a replica of Moi on time. Time. Akikwambia saa 1:30, saa 1:30. Tumuulize atupatie saa 1:30, saa 2, saa 3. Hii maneno ya maandamano ikwi. Because confrontation between police, in Nairobi we have a very good police officer, Mr. Bungei. A very good, well-trained officer. We were Nairobi, I know him. Hatutaka awe kwa mstari ya mbele waseme yeye ndiye anatoa mabunduki kupiga watu, yeye anafanya nini. It's a clean man, I know his heart. We must reach out to leaders so that we reduce tension between police and the citizens of this country. Workers want to access their places of work peacefully. Mimi sasa ni mzee. Mimi sio kijana, hata kama mnaona Mary bibi yangu ni myangu. Mary kazi yake kwangu ni kuangalia socks nimevaa namna gani, shati yangu iko sawa sawa, saa ya kumeza dawa ikifika ni saa ngapi, yeye anaweka hiyo diary. Because tukiandika mtu mwingine tuseme ni personal assistant atatuibia. Nikitaka kwenda Ulaya na niambia ndege yako ni safulani, gate ile unapitia ni hii tikiti iko sasa, mzee hii boarding pass umebeba ni ya mwaka jana, hii ndio ya leo. Hiyo ndio kazi ya Mary. Nataka kushukuru nyinyi na niwaambie ni lazima to support His Excellency the President for the purpose. You are at end game, hakuna njia my friend. Juzi umeappoint mkubwa wa majeshi, uliappoint Inspector General, umeappoint cabinet. Mtu kukutoa ni shida, atakutana na bunduki mbali sana. So let's not dwell on impossibilities, things that cannot happen. Let's accept as you lose, as one day for us who have lost some of our loved ones. Unaweza kufikiria kama amelala ataamuka. Hataamuka. It is better to come on terms you have lost your loved one. And then you can't get into stress and depression and hence death. Ama kubadilisha jua kutoka mashariki kuendelea magharibi. It's not easy. Let's accept. Mimi ndio nilisema miti ikatwe. Miti ilikatwa Sugoi. Mimi nilikuwa kwa ndoto zangu tu. Hawa namna gani? And I was the first person to accept his election. Hata mtu yeyote kabla hajasema nikiwa Western nikaambia watu jameni, wali ya banji umwana huyu amado kucheneshi sana. Nikasema huyu kijana ameenda na kiti, na ni lazima tukubali hiyo, na ni lazima mjue sasa from today, ingawa Musalia walimfanya the spokesperson of our community 2016 December 31st, it has now been entrenched and we must accept that. Watu wakaniambia basi uambie Oparanya muende pole kidogo sasa. Maneno imebadili. So Your Excellency, I don't want to tire you with words, but what I'm appealing to Kenyans is that tomorrow wamesema itakuwa maandamano. Workers, let us not participate. Sisi ni watu wa mshahara. Ukikosa kufika kazini, unaweza futwa kazi, mambo yote inaweza kuwa mabaya. Hiyo huwezi kutetea mtu kwa ajili alikuwa kwa maandamano. There is nothing you can gain. We have a constituency to protect. Employers and workers, we must protect our constituencies. We must support His Excellency the President to spur economic growth so that we can be able to grow economy and employ thousands and thousands of young men ambao wanatoka kwa shule. Lastly, Your Excellency, nikikosa kusema hii nitanyongwa. Your Excellency, as I end, I know we are in both political and economic quagmire. But bearing in mind that all of us, including workers, are involved in the restructuring of our economy, your incentive to these workers is only in one form: a consideration for a moderate general wage increase. Hatusemi minimum. In 1973, October to 1974, January, we witnessed ile ilikuwa naitwa oil shock economic recession. Na mzee Jomo Kenyatta alipoona mambo imekuwa magumu kwa kila mtu in this republic, aliongeza ile kitu inaitwa general wage increase. General wage increase itashika kila mtu, hata kama ni percent ngapi mbili, hata cabinet secretary, hata nani, kuliko kuwa tunaomba minimum wage all the time. Governor, we need a moderate. Waka sawa nauliza if there is a moderate, because sometimes minimum wage does not affect those people covered under collective bargaining agreements, and everybody is hit. Hii uchumi na sio ya Kenya peke yake. Hii vita ya Russia na Ukraine, Russia ndio number one kwa kutoa gas. I didn't know that gas even in Europe they use nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is powered and energized by gas. Huko wanapima stima sasa, na gas inatoka Russia, Ukraine, Qatar, hizo nchi ndio sasa. With the war looming, the war that has been in place for a long time, even vitu vya ng'ombe kula, dairy food, chakula mingi inatoka Russia, ya kutenge mambo ya ngano na nini na Ukraine. Shida iko duniani mzima. Kwa hivyo sio sisi hapa Kenya peke yetu, ingawa wale waliopata wengi walikopa madeni nayo tulikopa. Bunge inapeana ceiling tena inafunguliwa, bunge inapeana ceiling tena inafunguliwa. So you must also put some mechanism in place to grow economy. But please, current economic times are hurting everybody. Na kwa niaba ya hawa naomba tu, sina nguvu na yeye safari yako kuja kuonana na sisi, labda next year tutasema kwa vile ulitupatia mwaka jana, hii mwaka ya pili tutakupa kupumzika kidogo kuangalia mambo mengine, lakini leo tutoke na kitu kidogo kwa mfu. That one I leave to you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. I invite my sister, Sister Florence Bore. You are welcome. Our Minister for Labor, able Minister for Labor. Thank you.